It's not every day you meet someone who once had a romantic history with your spouse. But what if that person ended up becoming part of your daily life? Imagine the strange, unexpected thoughts you might have. Today I'm sharing a story about a wife who found herself obsessing over her husband's ex-fling. And no, it's not because she was jealous. This story goes deeper than that. So grab a seat and settle in, because what starts off as a seemingly innocent coincidence quickly turns into an emotional and mental roller coaster that might just surprise you. So this story begins in a quaint suburb of a large city. A couple who we'll call Emma and John, both in their early 30s, have a comfortable life with their 2 young children. They're actively involved in their community, hosting events and taking part in their children's school life. Emma is the class mum for her daughter's kindergarten class, a role that puts her in the centre of many school activities. Things are pretty normal, until one summer day Emma meets a woman who unknowingly triggers an unexpected chain of emotions. At a school event Emma hosted, she met a new mum named Carrie. She's in her early 30s, sweet and seemingly shy, perhaps because she's still new to the area. Emma didn't think much of it at first, but there was something off about Carrie's vibe. She couldn't put her finger on it, so she mentioned Carrie to her husband John as just one of those friendly community updates. But what she didn't expect was John's reaction. John was visibly surprised and even chuckled when Emma mentioned Carrie. It turns out Carrie wasn't just another random mum from the community. 10 years ago, after college, John and Carrie had a brief fling, something that lasted about a month, well before John and Emma ever crossed paths. Suddenly, this innocent introduction became something a little more intriguing. Emma wasn't upset or jealous. In fact, she found it funny, a strange coincidence in their interconnected world. Still, she started to notice that Carrie was acting distant whenever they were around each other, almost as though there was something on her mind. Emma, being friendly and straightforward, didn't want anything to be awkward, so she decided to break the ice. The next time Emma and Carrie were alone, she brought it up in a light-hearted way. She reassured Carrie that she knew about the past fling with John and that it was no big deal at all. Emma made it clear that there were no hard feelings and hoped there wouldn't be any weirdness between them moving forward. Carrie's reaction was immediate. She seemed incredibly relieved, like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. From that moment on, things were different. Carrie was much more open, friendly and warm toward Emma. They started to build a genuine friendship. But here's where the story takes a turn. Emma's curiosity about Carrie didn't fade away after clearing the air. Now, Emma is not the jealous type. In fact, she's the complete opposite, confident, laid back, and someone who doesn't let insecurity rule her life. However, seeing Carrie almost daily, now that school had started again, began to have a strange effect on Emma. She found herself thinking about Carrie more than usual, not in a competitive way, but in a curious one. She began to wonder. Emma's mind wandered to odd places, including Carrie's appearance and even her sex life. These thoughts weren't making Emma feel jealous. Instead, they felt like some weird secret that she was unraveling, a mystery from her husband's past. She started having daydreams about Carrie and John's brief fling. It wasn't something that bothered her. In fact, it started to become somewhat of an intrigue, something that strangely turned her on. The more she thought about it, the more she found herself asking John questions, playful ones, but ones that revealed her growing obsession. She'd ask him what he liked about Carrie, how their fling went, and even what Carrie's body was like. John, not thinking much of it, answered her questions honestly, which only fueled her curiosity even more. So here Emma is in a peculiar situation. On the one hand, she feels no resentment or insecurity toward Carrie. She even considers Carrie a friend at this point. But on the other hand, her mind keeps drifting back to thoughts of Carrie and John together, and it's become almost like a strange secret turn-on for her. It's not something Emma expected to deal with. After all, it's been years since John and Carrie had their fling, and Emma knows that John is completely devoted to her, yet she can't shake this feeling that she's stuck in some mental loop, wondering what her husband's past with Carrie was really like. Emma finds herself in a bizarre emotional conflict. Is it okay to be this curious? Should she feel guilty about these thoughts? Is this something she should even be thinking about at all? In the end, Emma's story brings up some interesting questions about how we view our partner's past relationships. On one level, Emma knows it's completely irrational to obsess over John's brief fling with Carrie. It's ancient history. But on another level, the human mind has a funny way of fixating on things that we find curious, even if we know they shouldn't matter. So what do you think? Is Emma's growing obsession totally off the rails and inappropriate? Or is this just one of those harmless, weird things our minds sometimes latch onto? Let's open up the conversation. What would you do if you were in Emma's shoes? Would you feel the same curiosity about your partner's past fling? Or would you brush it off completely? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more unique and thought-provoking tales, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content. Every week, we dive deep into stories that make us question, reflect and sometimes laugh at the strange situations life throws our way. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.